Hi guys! Welcome back to Champ's Japanese Kitchen! I've had many comments asking for a recipe without using meats. So today, I'm gonna use this delicious tofu. And the recipe's name is Age Dashi Tofu. So let's get cooking! Okay guys, the first thing we need to do for this recipe is prepare the tofu. You will want to use firm tofu and not silken or soft tofu, as that contains more liquid and is a little too soft for this recipe. First thing first, let's drain the liquid that the tofu comes in. Then, what we want to do is press our tofu to get rid of any excess liquid. If we don't do this, it won't get crispy when we fry it later. I have a tray with a rack built in for this, but you can do the same thing with just a plate and few more paper towels. We place our tofu on top of a paper towel, and then we need to add some weight to the top of it. Use whatever you have handy. I'm gonna use a pan here, which was a bad idea as I realized this was the pan I need to make the sauce later. Anyway, the important thing is we don't want to squash it. We're just adding a little pressure to the top. Okay, we will leave it like this for 30 minutes. While we wait, let's prepare the sauce for our agedashi tofu. First up, we want to prepare some daikon radish. If you cannot find daikon radish in your country, you can use turnip instead. Peel the skin off and then we will grate that down. We call this daikon oroshi. Oroshi means grated and daikon means daikon radish. Sorry, that was obvious. We will set this aside for a moment, and next we are going to make the sauce that will coat our agedashi tofu. This is called mizore ankake in Japanese. You will need 150 ml of dashi. Let's add this straight into the saucepan. 10 grams of sugar, 5 ml of cooking sake, 30 ml of soy sauce, and then finally 10 ml of mirin. We will set that to a medium heat and then wait for it to boil. Once we see that begin to bubble, we will add our daikon oroshi from before. I've also drained off some of the liquid. Give that a stir, and then finally, we want to thicken our sauce a bit, or in Japanese, give it toromi. I'm gonna mix 2 teaspoons of potato starch into 50 ml of water. Make sure you mix this immediately before adding to the sauce, or else the starch may solidify again if you leave it. Next, it's tofu time! It's been 30 minutes, so let's see how that tofu is doing. That pan from earlier has magically disappeared. As you can see, a good few tablespoons of liquid has been pressed out. That's just what we're looking for. Now, let's take the tofu and cut this into even squares. Make one big cut through the middle and slice it into even pieces. Next, we're going to cover these in some potato starch to help it crisp up when we fry it. Make sure to really cover each piece of tofu and wipe off excess powder. Okay, time to cook. I've heated up some grapeseed oil in the frying pan, and once that heated up, it's time to add our tofu. Fry those for a few minutes until you begin to notice the underside turning a nice golden brown. We will flip those over and then do the same on the other side. This will probably take about 2 or 3 minutes per side. You might notice that tofu begin to stick together, but just separate them with your spatula. I'm also going to add some shishito pepper, which are a mild pepper that will give our agedashi tofu a bit of a kick. You can skip this if you want, but if you add some green vegetables, the dish will finish beautifully. Maybe a good substitute will be a bit of bell pepper. Oh, look at that! Our tofu and peppers have turned a nice brown color. It's time for Okay! Agedashi tofu is done. But this agedashi tofu is special one because it's covered with mizore ankake sauce. In Japanese, mizore means sleet or snow. And the grated radish looks like mizore. So that's why we call mizore ankake sauce. When I was a fighter, of course, I'd love to eat meat almost every day. But sometimes you need a break, right? When I didn't want to eat meat, I would make this agedashi tofu. It looks great. Okay, let's eat. This ankake sauce is a little bit sweet, and this grated radish is very rich. It's crispy, but when I bite it, it's very soft inside. And this tofu's flavor, it's soybeans flavor, it's very good. This is a little bit spicy and tastes like a green pepper. この大豆の濃い味とみぞれの優しい甘い味がうまくマッチングしてとっても美味しく出来上がっています。Please try at your home. In Japan, there are lots of traditional recipes without using meats. If you want to see more, please leave the comment down below. And don't forget, after every meal, we all say, ごちそうさまでした。